obviously in the news, Joe Wicks. He's top of conversation at the moment. Again, he's on a bit of a mission to like basically just show how crap the food industry is in the UK. And what he decided to do is go more for a protein bar, but wanted to promote it in a way to say, look, I can create a really unhealthy protein bar that is readily available for us to purchase that isn't really good for our health. So it's been really interesting. And my take on it was very interesting. I changed my perception after watching the program in regards to before it. But what was your thoughts on it?
So I've never promoted or advised clients to take protein bars. I've always looked at them from the perspective of they're not that different to like a Mars bar. So if you're gonna have something nice, have a Mars bar. Have a chocolate. Because I've never rated them anyway.
Yeah.
I keep away from processed foods generally. That doesn't mean always, but if I don't know what the back says, or the jargon at the back, if I can't read that and understand it, I know it's not good for me.
Yeah.
But what I found by watching it is literally how everything in there was a chemical or emulsifier or bulking agent. There wasn't actually food in there. I think
interestingly, I was going to say, I actually got one of the bars.
I didn't even know you got one.
I actually got one of the bars.
Oh, right. No way.
So, I actually brought one of the bars.
I didn't know you brought one.
So, obviously on there, it says...
Can you read any of them words on the back?
On there, he flipped it where he got a healthy side, and then he put a side, it's got a bad side on it.
Yeah.
So, the healthy side, he's put, 200 plus health nutritional benefits, 90 grams of protein, high fiber, low in salt, contains 27 vitamins and minerals. Then the flip side of it, he's put, this is a definitely protein bar that gives you diarrhea, gives you cancer, stroke, early death. You have a look at yourself and...
Okay. I'm not good at reading, but let me see if I can read it. Oh, God. I can't see from the looks of it. So one, if this was a legit bar, my eyes can't see that writing, so I'm not going to spend time trying to look at it. But let me see. Chocolate protein, the whole protein blend. Let me get to some of the words that... No, I can't say it. Well, magnesium oxide, vitamin C. Oh, that's when he's trying to put the vitamins in, I suppose. There's a lot of things in here that are just hydrogenated palm kernel. Yeah, there's loads of things. Yes, polydextrose. Yeah, I can't say half of the words that are on there.
Yeah.
And I think that's one, because I am thick as shit. And two, I can't see it.
Yeah.
But I like what he's done. He's put both sides of the package so you can see the good and the bad. But yeah, it's bad.
Yeah.
But go on.
But yeah, like I say, I mean, obviously,
you remember how they described
chocolate orange protein bar. So I'm gonna try.
You're gonna eat it. I'm not eating that shit.
Straight away, obviously, I'm really thinking crap. Like, it's got diarrhea, got cancer. So
enjoy it.
But I will give it a bit of a taste because
the way they described it was, I've had to write it down. Industrial produce edible substance. So it's not actually food. Well, and you remember when we had this conversation before about what was it? That 0 calorie rice. How was it? Oh my God, I can eat.
Probably like shit.
My jaw. I wonder if the mic's gonna pick up how much your jaw breaking trying to eat it. Does it taste nice? Tell the truth.
Not really. I'll be honest, it doesn't taste great.
Didn't it have something like 200 chemicals in it? Have I made that up?
It's 200 health benefits.
But, 200. Yeah, just brush it all on the floor for it to be cleaned up after.
Well, but no, it's not a good bar.
Nah.
I'm still chewing this now, and it's not enjoyable.
Yeah, but he hasn't made it to be enjoyable. He's made it to prove a point. And the point he was trying to make is all of these ingredients or chemicals, etc., that are in this bar are legal, and they're at the legal amounts that can go into the bar.
Well, it's not chewing this bar. I mean, but
look, you got a can of water.
I know, and that's what I mean. Like, that is not food.
No.
Right, that is not food.
Yeah, but what's the difference with a grenade bar or Huel bar? I know this bar has gone to extreme.
Not much difference.
But that's
I'll be honest, right? So, I'm very, like, on the... I won't be like I won't massively encourage like protein bars and stuff because, again, I'm human. I like to have a protein bar once in a blue moon, right? Do they taste amazing?
I
Not
think you got a bit
necessarily,
of chocolate on your face.
right? But they're not the most amazing
No.
things. However, once in a blue moon, I'll have a protein bar, and I can tell you right now, a grenade bar isn't far off that. I've tried a Huel bar again. They're not great.
I did compare the ingredients with your
Yeah.
bar, and there was a lot better than obviously the killer bar, but they shared quite a lot of the same ingredients or similar. And when I say quite a lot, they had similar ingredients in. So at least that's an indication to people, right? Stop with the fast food, the easy options. Just make your own flapjacks. It might have 5 ingredients in it.
I think like I say, going back to like, you know, the whole kind of protein thing, like I said when I was at the start with guys, it changed my perception. Because at first I thought, right, Joe, why are you going after protein bars? I said, because most people who are going to have a protein bar generally are people who are going to be in the gym, exercising, who are generally trying to make healthier choices. So that was my initial first impression. I thought, why are you going to have protein bars when really the bigger issue is ultra-processed foods as a general rule? But then after watching the documentary, he mentioned, he goes, I've gone after this because of who I am and what kind of industry I'm in. So he goes, easy way for me to go about it is tackle protein bars.
Yes.
So that's why I initially changed my initial perception.
But we need people like Joe Wicks with a platform that can, help to make these changes. We had Jamie Oliver do with the school dinners, which helped at the time. So little by little, if these influential people are making these changes and like chasing the government, or when I say the government, the regulations within the food industry, long term, it's going to make it better for our children.
Yeah. But I think like I said to you, like, just so that like people know what we're talking about, like regards to what is like ultra processed foods, they're generally things that you cannot get in your kitchen. They're things that are industrially made to put into foods. And I think that's one that straight away that should speak volumes in itself.
They're in a packet.
That's
easy.
You can't buy them out. You can't get them out your kitchen. You can't go into the supermarket and necessarily buy these ingredients. And that's why like I got the guy who helped him was a guy whose book I've got, still not read it yet, but it's on my list. He's a guy called Chris Van Torlicum. So he was the guy who like worked with Joe, who's very much an advocate for the World Health Organization to help with tackling like ultra processed foods. And like I said, I wish that I knew this documentary was coming on soon because I would have read that book. So it is on my next book to read.
Fresh, Len. How long have you had this book?
I've read it for a couple of months.
It's untouched. You like me, you buy books.
Yeah, but it is a book I want to read. And like I said, like he obviously helped with Joe. In regards to
he was knowledgeable.
Yeah. But the one thing that I will say about it is they had this plan of doing this really unhealthy bar, right? But then they got this one specialist to come in place, right? He had to take a lot of the food ingredients out of it because it didn't meet regulations. So I think they didn't get what they really, really wanted to do because they couldn't actually do it because of regulations. Because the guy came in and took a lot of the ingredients out,
which is good. Because there is regulations in there. But okay, you asked what my take was on it. They always blame the government, and this is where it gets to me because we live in a free country, meaning you can pick what you want. Yeah. I've been to some countries and they've got nothing on the shelves because they haven't got that import-export infrastructure in there, etc. We have got the choice in this country. There's places in the world where their shops are non-existent with the basics of food. So in this country, you have got the choice to pick good and bad, processed, natural, organic, or mass-produced. So I think the responsibility comes down to the person. Yeah, to definitely. The person, and stop blaming the government. Yeah. I'll tell my child what he can and can't eat. You know what I mean? I'll tell myself what I can and can't eat, and everything in moderation. But this thing about the government needs to do more. What the government need to do? They're giving you an opportunity to make a shit bar and sell it and make money. Do you know what I mean? You don't have to buy it.
Yeah, you don't have to buy it. I think obviously when you look at the stats, I think it's like 60% of adults have ultra processed foods, and I think it was 80% on low incomes, which I understand. However, the average protein bar is about £3.
Yeah, it's not cheap.
Like £3 for a bar, for a snack, isn't cheap. So, and again, it all stems down to
laziness,
and it all again parenting is a key one, and just using your bit of common sense.
Yeah.
You know, like it starts from the very beginning. Like you gotta think about what food is.
Yeah, but how many times have you heard this? It's too expensive to eat healthy.
It is and it isn't.
Not when you match up what you can get for £100 takeaways to £100 shopping.
Yeah, definitely.
The shopping's going to go a lot further. What it is, people have literally become so lazy they won't make their own food.
Yeah, it is that. Like the amount of times again, like people just, I haven't got time. Make time.
You've got to make time.
Like
Time to order.
simple. What's more important, your health, or
Len? People order a takeaway and wait an hour for it to come. They could have made the food in that time.
And the problem is the people who say, "Oh, I haven't got time," they're the first people to view your Instagram story. So I think we're not that busy because you look at my Instagram stories. So you're not that busy, and you got to make time for it. And like I say, I think Joe's doing a good thing. And like I say, I follow quite a few fitness people who go, "Oh, yeah, Joe."
If anyone that's trying to make the
I'm sorry, but
world a healthier place,
I'm sorry, but
doing a good thing.
yes, his his campaign probably could do with improving a little bit. However, I think the message of creating more awareness has worked.
Yeah.
Like, it's got people like me and you talking about it.
Eddie Abu, Joe Wicks, and anyone that's trying to improve people, I think is a good thing, and they've got to stop criticising them. And the people that are criticising are the ones that just want to eat a protein bar.
Yeah, that's it.
Before you wrap this up, show the black label, that South America that you put on there, because I thought that was really interesting.
So
you put black labels on there.
So the black label is basically something that's very popular in like South American countries. So for example, it's put high in calories, high in sugar, high in saturated fats, contains sweeteners not recommended for children. So that's the things he's put on there, but which is all good. But again, this is where like I am a bit on the fence with certain things. Yes, this ain't great. However, and yes, they make claims saying, "Oh, it's going to give you cancer. Yeah, it's going to give you early death." But how much of it? Right? I could eat a shitload of kebabs, right? I know that if I do that, chances are I'm going to ruin my health. If I have one kebab in a blue moon, is that is that good detrimental to my health? So yes, there's things in there like aspartame and stuff that are potentially linked to cancer, but you're not telling me how much of that I've got to have.
I know, but all we got to do, Len, is look at the rates of cancer in, say, UK. It's now 1 in 2. It's more or less guaranteed that everyone is going to have some form of cancer. So if you can avoid cancer by cutting out crap like that and carcinogens, etc., then we need to be on the ball with stuff like this. Because yes, it might take a lot to get cancer, but people are getting cancer, so it's proving that.
No, definitely. But I think it's more a case of there's a little bit of scaremongering in there.
Yes. Yeah,
because it's basically saying if I have this protein bar, I'm gonna die, get cancer, I'm gonna have diarrhea.
No, it's saying if you eat like that with the amount of chemicals, you are gonna have health problems, which we know that is true. But use cancer as probably the biggest scare tactic.
Yeah.
But then people are unhealthy. The country's unhealthy.
Yeah.
We've got a country full of thick people, and then the autism rates and everything else. Like you know.
Well, thingy.
You don't have to go on social media and you look and you think it's a country gone mad. Everyone arguing with each other and this that. Just concentrate cooking your food, man.
Yeah, it is bonkers how it is. But I think, like I said, I do generally think there's a little bit of scaremongering in there. And like I said, I'm again about moderation. A bit like we spoke before. Like I like to have a glass of wine. I know alcohol. I know alcohol's not great for you. However, is one glass of wine gonna kill me? But if I'm drinking bottles of wine every single day, or if I'm eating protein bars every day,
you're right. Moderation. On
so I think it's good to mention those points, but it's also making people understand that once in a blue moon, it's not going to hurt you. It's making sure that you are prioritising getting more good nutritious food in your diet.
Your once in the blue moon isn't the person's next year version of once in a blue moon.
Yeah,
and this is where there's a saying before you can't trust people to know. What's best for them, because they really don't.
And like I said, I think moderation is key. But the problem is, going back to the ultra foods, they're very highly palatable foods.
Yeah, they taste good.
Right. I always say to clients, if I sit down, had a cup of coffee with you, and I've got the biscuits out, you're not going to have one biscuit, you're going to have 5, right? no one eats one biscuit. You get the biscuits out, you're having 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever, right? Because it's highly palatable food. It's a bit like having a protein bar. They ain't gonna touch the sides. I'm probably gonna have stomach ache later on, or for that crap later. I'll be honest with you.
But it tasted good.
I mean, it didn't.
Yeah,
fair,
not that
it,
one.
It, fair, it didn't taste good. It was quite shocking, to be fair. But yeah. So I think, like I say, moderation's key. It's good to be aware of certain foods. Good to be aware of, that we should be living more of a life of healthy nutrition and not resorting to, again, living on protein bars, living on microwave meals, living on crisps, chocolates, things that have got colour dye added to it. Just because the packaging looks nice and because it might taste good. Look at the bigger picture. And one, again, analogy, I don't know if I've used this analogy before, but I'm going to say it anyway, so I might sound like a broken record. And I've used it a few times recently with clients. If you wake up tomorrow morning, you won the lottery, you buy yourself a Ferrari, what are you going to what are you going to put in the car? What fuel are you put in it? You're going to put premium fuel in it. Why? Yeah. Because it's a Ferrari. So why aren't you treating your body the same way? Like, treat your body like a Ferrari. You're going to put premium fuel in a Ferrari. Why aren't you putting premium fuel into your body?
Yeah.
Your body's the same thing. Your body's, so that's quite one thing I always kind of relay back to clients is like, think of your body like a Ferrari. What are you going to fuel it with? If you don't fuel it properly, guess what happens? It's not going to perform well, which means your body's not going to perform well. You're going to start having problems. You're going to start getting stomach cramps, this, that, and the other. So I always kind of like use that kind of analogy with clients and think about the food you are putting in your mouth.
Good point and easy to understand.
Yeah. But the only thing that was interesting about Joe Wicks was what changed. Because only recently he was collaborated with My Protein.
Yes.
And had his own protein powder. So for me, it's more a case of what changed, what made you decide.
Has he still got that collaboration?
He hasn't now, I don't think.
No.
So for me, it's more a case of what's changed. Is it a case of you saw a campaign opportunity for money, or have you just thought, actually, I want to get away from this kind of way of thinking of food?
I didn't know he was with My Protein, but I don't know. Maybe he'll reveal it in the future, but I don't know. Maybe he saw the processing of the
could be
proteins, etc.
Yeah, I think like I said, it was a great program. I think it's definitely insightful, and I definitely think it's creates a lot more awareness. I think the only thing it probably missed was just actually educating people more about what choice they need to make to help move forwards. Because again, let's be honest, we know as trainers, we have to kind of spit it out to people.
I know, but
sometimes.
Remember, that's his business.
Yeah.
He does that anyway when they sign up.
Yeah,